So it has been rumoured that Ederson will be leaving Manchester City, with it being rumoured that he wants a move to Saudi. And, well, I think it's time to talk about whether he's the most underappreciated player in the Premier League. But before we go any further, please do like this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, I said if we get to 1,000 subs, I will shave off all of this hair up here and I'll go bald, like Pep Guardiola, like level bald. But yeah, even though we're not there yet, the support on the channel has been amazing. Like, we've gained so many new subs recently. So thank you guys. We've got a little community going now. Actually, I recognise a lot of your names in the comments and stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for the support. It's amazing. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, before I go any further, comment down below now who you think the most underappreciated player in the Premier League is. But yeah, let's get into why I think he's the most underappreciated player in the Premier League. And I wouldn't even say he's underappreciated by rival fans. I think it's City fans. I think he's very underappreciated by our fan base, because Ederson would always get a lot of stick for his shot stopping ability, and there are periods of time where City will concede our first shot on target because he'll lose concentration and doesn't play to the best of his ability. But I think that was for about 2 seasons. I'd say there were 2 seasons where it was really bad, but I think over the last 2 seasons, most 2 recent seasons, Ederson's been very good. And when you look at it, he's played 250 Premier League games. He's got 189 wins in those games, and he has 112 clean sheets, winning 6 Premier League titles and 6 Premier League Golden Gloves in a row. He's also got 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and a Champions League, with him also having 3 assists in the Premier League, with his like the skill set that he possesses with the ball at his feet. And I think he is definitely underappreciated, and what confirms he's underappreciated is Stefan Ortega. And don't get me wrong, Stefan Ortega is a very, very good goalkeeper. Very, very good goalkeeper. He probably is too good to be our backup goalkeeper, but he's not Ederson. He will never be Ederson on the ball. He's very good on the ball, but he'll never be as good as Ederson. And Stefan Ortega gets all the credit for, and so he should, for his save against Son, right? In the Spurs game, he gets a lot of credit for that. That potentially won us the league. But Ederson doesn't get that credit. Ederson doesn't get that credit ever, I don't think. Ederson has pulled off world-class saves in many different games to keep us in the game, and it's just expected of him. It's just, oh well, that's his job. Which, yes, it is his job to save shots. It is Ederson's job. But same way it's Ortega's job. So, should he be getting as much praise for the Son save if it's his job? Because Ederson will always get criticised where he goes wrong, and rightfully so, because he is prone to a howler. His living life on the edge, sort of playing, the game on instinct. It definitely does lead to him making a lot of mistakes, but he's also the best keeper in the league, I think. I think Ederson, all-round keeper, is the best keeper in the league. Yes, Alisson is probably the best shot stopper, but all-round game, Ederson is the best. No one comes close to Ederson on an all-round game, right? And talking about Ederson not getting the praise he deserves and him being underappreciated, it takes me back to the Champions League run last season, right? He made big saves against Bayern Munich, right? Big saves. We end up going through to the semi-finals. He makes big saves at the Bernabeu to keep it a 1-1. Big saves. Benzema probably could have scored late on in that first leg to make it 2-1 and making our job at the Etihad a little difficult. He made good saves in the second leg against Real Madrid. Obviously not meaning as much because we went on to blow out Real Madrid and beat them comfortably, but he still made very good and impressive saves. And his save against Lukaku in the Champions League final, his save right at the end of the game, the way he was commanding his box, coming out to claim every ball, making sure that we kept that lead and we won the treble. It was a very impressive performance. That whole Champions League campaign was very, very impressive from from Ederson, and if it wasn't for Alisson Becker in 2019 and Thibaut Courtois in 2022, then that would have been one of the best goalkeeping performances that I've seen in the Champions League. But those two, especially Courtois, pulled off an inhumane performance against Liverpool. And yeah, he doesn't get as much praise as he probably should for that, because those were very important matches, those were very important saves, and he won us that Champions League final just as much as Rodri did by scoring his goal. But obviously Rodri will get all the plaudits for it because he scored the goal, and again, rightfully so. But Ederson deserves credit too, and Ederson has not been bad this season, but because of the circumstance we found ourselves in, with him coming off injured 4 times this season, and Ortega stepping in big games, coming off the bench against Liverpool, playing against Arsenal, Spurs, his performance against Newcastle, like, he's put in solid performances in all of those games that he's come on, and but because he's a backup goalkeeper, he gets a lot more praise. He gets a lot more praise for his performances, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be praised for his performances, but I think Ederson deserves love too. And I think if he does leave the club, it's because of the fans. I don't think we appreciate what we've got. I think we definitely take Ederson for granted, and a Man City without Ederson it could be kind of scary, I guess, because yes, you know, we need a goalkeeper that's good with their feet. Ortega is good with his feet, not as good as Ederson. He might potentially be a better shot stopper, but he's not as good with his feet. And then we look at the goalkeeper we had before Ederson, Claudio Bravo, right? He put up one of the most shameless league performances I've ever seen in that 16-17 season. He was a disgrace, absolute disgrace in the league, and Ederson was a breath of fresh air when he came in, and comfortably the best goalkeeper in the league for me personally, right? Then you look at other backup goalkeepers we had Zach Stefan. Don't even get me started on that FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool, one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've ever seen. Zach Stefan, also the only goalkeeper I've ever seen pick up a pass back. A disgraceful keeper, right? You look at these goalkeeping options. We are so blessed to have 2 very good goalkeepers play for our club, but just because Ortega has come in and stepped up when it mattered and come off the bench, doesn't mean that he's better than Ederson, and doesn't mean he deserves more praise than Ederson. Because if it wasn't for Ederson, I don't think we'd have as many trophies as we do now. He's very integral to our game. The amount of attacks he starts with his passing range, his composure on the ball, his ability to get himself out of tight situations with his footwork, you know, his passing, his relaxedness on the ball, and his decision making, his risk taking to come out and win the ball. He's an exceptional keeper, and I do think he deserves a lot more praise than what he gets. And I do hope that he doesn't leave in the summer, but if he does, then, you know, I wish him all the best. He's won everything he could here, and maybe he does just need a new challenge. But I do hope that he's not leaving because he feels underappreciated, because obviously he uploaded to Instagram after the Spurs game saying that nobody understands but me, see you soon, and that can be interpreted as him just not feeling appreciated, him thinking that, like, oh, Ortega's getting all the praise for this performance, but like, if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't even be in this position, which I completely understand. I do think that as City fans, I think, and again, it might sound a bit hypocritical from me because I really don't like Kyle Walker, and maybe I underappreciate Kyle Walker. Maybe he's a lot better than I see him as, but a lot of City fans underappreciate a lot of our players. Haaland gets a lot of stick despite scoring 27 league goals and winning 2 golden boots in a row. Foden gets a lot of stick. Doku, Grealish all get a lot of stick. Diaz gets a lot of stick. You know, we give our players a lot of stick because we hold them to such impossible and such high standards that maybe we need to step back from this 4 Premier League titles in a row coming off the back of a treble season, and we need to be a bit more realistic in the levels that we hold our players to, because the way they perform isn't always very sustainable. Haaland last season in the treble winning season, his goal scoring rates unsustainable, was never ever going to put up those numbers again in the second season. Rodri's game time and the way he plays every game is unsustainable. Like, as soon as he loses one league game, then a second league loss might come and a third league loss might come, and we can't then just say that he's fallen off, because to get to how many league undefeated run that he's on now is absurd, and he set a level of performance that he will, if he even drops off a little bit, it'll be very, very hard to reach those levels again, because of how high these players have been performing in the past few years. But that's all I really have to say on it, really. Let me know down below if you think Ederson's underappreciated. Let me know who you think the best goalkeeper in the league is. And also, like I said at the start, tell me who you think the most underappreciated player at your club is, or the most underappreciated player in the league. Just let me know down in the comments. Obviously, like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, the goal is 1,000 subscribers, and you get to see me go bold. With all that being said, I've been Nathan. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Shut down cases. They belly dots to the can't see faces. Chasing the bad guy chase it. You don't wanna be the one like Ace and like G-Take trying to turn them out wasted. Aye, tell a bad bitch come break it. Body come mad, come shake it. Then get back to the basics. Bro, done shut down cases. They belly dots to the